school, realizing that I wanted to be a trial attorney, I got very involved in improvisational theater and realized that the two are completely intertwined. We're telling stories, and we're telling stories with really no script in front of an audience, with improvisational elements coming into our story while we're telling it. And often with rules that prevent us from saying certain things or doing certain things. And so I found that this improvisational theater training can make you an amazing trial lawyer. And it also certainly helps with, fear of speaking in public, which is a big fear for people, even me, as you can see from my sweat stains, which happen while I'm doing my trials very often.
I was called in for jury duty quite a few years ago. It was after I was living here in Los Angeles. And I remember the prosecutor came to kind of talk to the jury and would not look anyone in the eyes and was mumbling and was very quiet and hard to hear. And that lawyer might have been an amazing lawyer. Like, he might have had great training. He might have had an excellent case to try and really great information, but I didn't care. And I don't think anyone on the jury cared, because we couldn't hear him and he wasn't connecting with anyone. And I just, like, for me, I was like, who's going to tell that guy? Like, who's going to pull him aside? Who's going to give him feedback and say, hey, you need to be a human being and not, a robot who's just saying stuff. And that's kind of why I started, teaching this class with Brian, why we thought it was so important to be able to give lawyers these skills, because it's not enough to be accurate. You also have to be able to communicate with people and connect with people in order to be an effective lawyer,
What we're doing here today is going to be a slice of one portion of a class, which we plan on doing private groups like this over a 10-week period. So you're peeking in on what class number 1 would be like. And then you'll learn these advanced techniques as we go along.
We
are
in
the
jungle.
It
is
Cold.
and
actually
We're
going
to
boat.
down
the
River.
to
go
Fishing.
for
piranhas
They
are
super
vicious.
fish
let's
Not
fall
into
the
water
we're
going
to
die
if
we
fall
in
to
the
river.
Say
Without.
suddenly. Say suddenly.
Suddenly.
Yeah.
Suddenly
there
are
alligators.
everywhere
ah
Look out.
for
the
Teeth.
of
the
Crocodiles.
because
we
Don't
like
crocodiles
the
end
Great. I love that you ended it. Like, I love that, because I feel like people are scared to end stuff, but that was awesome. That was really good.
Yeah, I think sometimes just the facial expressions and the body movement and holding space like that is the best way to actually get the jurors to say the next thing. That you could easily cut them off and move to the next person, but sometimes just a facial expression, an eyebrow raise, a raise of a hand, something like that is really the best way to get them to say that next thing, and especially for cause challenges, that you want them to keep talking.
That's right. Sometimes just being quiet and nodding your head encourages them to give you more. Sometimes people are so uncomfortable with silence, they want to fill it with words. And, you know, when I'm doing a deposition of a witness that I know is maybe lying or has information, sometimes I'll just be quiet and they'll start revealing information. Same with jurors.
But whatever your partner says, you are going to accept it and you're going to add information to what they gave you. All right. So you're going to try to build on what they said.
Got it.
Okay. You don't have to say yes and, but you can have that in your mind. Like, you know, you're saying yes to the other person and you're adding some information to what they said, and then wait, and they'll like kind of ping pong or tennis. They'll do it that back. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Let's see how it goes.
Tim, I got to say, thanks for finally coming out here and going hiking with me.
No problem, Jeff, man. Looking forward to it for a long time. Dude, this mountain's huge.
I know. Have you been on this mountain before? This was such a great idea to come up here.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's got holes and pits, and watch the rocks. They move everywhere.
I saw that rock falling over there. Are you sure that this path that we're on is going to be safe?
Yes, it's going to be safe. Safe enough for us to make it down there. But just remember, walk fast.
Okay. I mean, I'll walk as fast as we can, but you're not going to take me down a dangerous road, are you?
Yeah. But don't worry, it'll be a lot of fun.
You know what?
You got your shoes on, though, right?
I do. I got my running shoes, so if any of those rocks come down, just let me know and we'll take off.
You got running shoes, huh?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah. It'll be good. Come on, let's go this way. It's over here on the left. You see
All
that
right.
here between the two trees, the one that's kind of fallen over, that's broken in half? We're going to go underneath that one.
Okay. You know, I feel like I heard on the news a week or two ago that there's some hikers by that broken tree and that they never came back.
Yes, you're right. Well, they came back,
Okay.
but just in a couple of different pieces. But don't worry about it. It'll be awesome.
The more you can get someone to agree with your position, even if it's adversarial, makes you look more trustworthy when you're telling a story. Does that make sense?
Brian, let me ask you,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
with the yes and, because like I think I don't know what to think about this. When an adverse witness is like not answering the question, they're going like some other direction.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say, okay, you know, good point, but let me ask you blah blah blah. So you almost connect with it and then move it to where you want to go instead of just ignoring it. Because when you ignore it completely, it almost is like, I'm afraid of that answer, that question. Whereas if you're like, okay, well, let me ask you this. So it kind of connects with it and then moves where you want to go.
Absolutely. And Joseph is probably a master at this by saying yes when really you mean no.
Right.
Or yes, but. So there are ways to do that. That's a great point, Dan.
I think Brian and Joseph are trying to teach us is, in terms of the improv, is you have a North Star. You know in your mind where you want to go. And the improv skills help you deal with whatever's thrown at you to get there.